Hello, I'm Philip Marcel, and today I want to talk about the federal court system, which is a part of the government that figures out how does the law apply to all our lives. You may ask a few questions like, what are the courts? How does it fit into the US government? And how did it get this way? So I'm here to provide a few of those answers. To begin our journey, let's go back to basics. In the US, there are three branches of government: the legislative, who comes up with the laws; the executive, who signs or veto the laws; the judicial, who interprets the laws. And all of this really comes from something we call the Constitution, which is where our founding fathers thought it was important to have a separation of power, because they didn't want to go back into the same monarchy in which they had fought so hard to get out of. The idea of the three branches was to ensure that there were checks and balances. So this is basically the branches keeping themselves in line, or one branch not having more power than the other branches. So we have checks and balances. Congress, Article 1 of Congress speaks about powers and responsibilities. Article 2 says what a president can and cannot do. But in Article 3, judicial power is mentioned. And it says judicial power of the United States shall be vested in one Supreme Court, and in such inferior courts as Congress may from time to time ordain or establish. So it's basically saying we have in one big court, and if there's a need for other courts after, it could be added. So in the first ever session of Congress, the lawmakers came up with the Judiciary Act of 1789, which spells out how the federal court should work, and decided that we should have three levels. So the district level, which is the lowest level, where trials of federal laws take place, they have one judge, a jury, and witnesses. There are a total of 94 of those districts. And if you're unsatisfied with the decision made by the district court, you could appeal it in the Court of Appeal. There are 13 in each region. And it's basically asking a higher power to reverse or review a decision made by the district court. It was also called the circuit court because from time to time, the justices had to travel from different districts in order to hear cases at the lower level. In 1911, however, Congress moved those trials down to the district court and got rid of the circuit court altogether. Then, moving on, we have the Supreme Court, which is the highest court in the land. It has the ability to hear cases before all the other courts, and this was due to original jurisdiction. However, the main function of the Supreme Court is to hear appeals. The court was once required to listen to all appeals, but they realized it was a lot. So Congress later came up with something called a writ of cert, which is basically a system which decides which case should be reviewed. Once the appellate court issued a decision, both parties had the opportunity to petition for a writ of cert. However, according to our book, the court will not issue a writ of cert unless 4 of the 9 justices approves it, which is called the rule of 4. The court gets up to 10,000 of those per year, and usually reviews just about 100. So why review a case? The way the law is applied in the law court can affect the whole country, so it is imperative that it is done in the right way. And the Supreme Court needs to apply the law the same way across the entire country. So, how do you join the court? According to Article 2, the president appoints a judge, and with the advice and consent of the Senate. And this position is important because usually it is a lifetime appointment. So just like the federal government has 3 branches, so does its state. The state governor, the state legislature, the court system. The state judges are picked based on where you live. Some states, they are appointed by the governor. Some states, they are appointed by the legislature. And importantly, in 39 states, guess what? They are elected by you. So, it is imperative that the next time you see that area on the ballot, it is imperative that you do not skip it. So this is basically it on the quote. I'm Philip Marcel. See you next time.